a list of trusted nodes configurable for a node that are effectively not so that these are peers that are added directly and not via Kademlia or any other discovery mechanism. And in this case, I think it would be fairly easy to just misconfigure things. You just accidentally add a peer ID for a node that is on a completely different chain or network or anything like that. And so personally, it's maybe just me, but I think that adding some safeguards into other parts of the protocol, so not only just discovery, might be worth it, even if just for avoiding unnecessary complications when you are just setting up something by hand or using these manually specified peer lists.
The end goal is not to have a specified peer list, and I personally not sure that I want that we should add things just for testing purposes. If you want to, you can always like have a different topic just for testing purposes, and then when you want to talk with a different node, then you change it or something like that.
Oh yeah, I understand that. I just think that there are some occasions when you are just setting up something, even just for testing, and it's just mixing up chain IDs in such a setup or mixing up peer IDs so that you are accidentally adding your, I don't know, a proper node to a test network or vice versa. It might lead to hard to diagnose problems that would be basically trivial to avoid if other parts of the protocol stack would contain this information.
Yeah, but maybe it might be like complicated to in the code to bring the chain ID to the specific. No,
Yeah,
but
absolutely. It's just something I wanted to bring up as
okay.
as
I think that
a
we.
potential safeguard against misconfiguration, which might lead to problems that are much harder to diagnose.
Okay, I think like we can think about it, and maybe if we encounter this issue, then we maybe it will.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So I think now Adi can go, and so what's the latest on Malachite integration and client feedbacks?
Hey everyone. The latest on so there's two major things. One of them is interoperability test between Papyrus and a Malachite-based mock sequencer that we wrote. This we call just interoperability test. These are progressing. We did have some more progress in the last 2 weeks, in the sense that the Papyrus-based sequencer is finally able to communicate with the Malachite-based sequencer. It's mostly just P2P level stuff that we're getting in the way. But once they actually start trying to exchange votes, the two nodes get disconnected straight away. And we're still debugging what exactly causes the disconnection. I think we're waiting on specifically some logs from the Papyrus team and we also need to kind of cross validate with the logs from the Malachite based. So that's interoperability, and that's the first topic. The second topic is integration, and this is integration between Malachite and full nodes, Madara and Pathfinder specifically. We got a lot of feedback last week that I could summarize by saying that there is one unclear API in Malachite. It's the low-level core API, we call it, or the core consensus API. And we're writing a couple of ADRs. These are just documentation references that are aimed at the Madara team, because they were the ones who raised this, but I think the Pathfinder team will also find it helpful, I hope. So that's where we're engaged at the moment on writing those ADRs and clarifying Specifically, what the problem is the application needs to drive the process of a block production, and there's two major interfaces. There's one of inputs to consensus, and one there's outputs or effects that consensus asks the application to do on the behalf of the consensus layer. It's basically like a REPL interface, or like it's just a state machine where you provide inputs and then it tells you what to do, and then you provide inputs again. And this has a certain grammar. So there's a certain sequencing of steps that are valid. And if you do steps in wrong order, then the steps are the sequence that you're producing is invalid. So we need to document properly what is such a valid sequencing of steps. And that's what these ADRs are going to cover. I hope that clarifies it.
Okay. Thank you, Ali. And then we can move to L1 data extraction tool. So Leonardo also wanted to discuss this progress on standardizing the blob data decoding approach. So based on the previous call, there was an interest in creating tools for extracting data from L1. So particularly with the compression changes in O13.3 and O13.4. So since Leo isn't here today, does anyone have any thoughts on this initiative and its like priority relative to other work or not? No one has any views about this? No one? So I think we have covered everything that was there on the agenda. And if anyone has any other business to discuss, please raise your hand. I guess not. So we can end the call now. And thank you everyone for joining today's call. As a reminder, our next meeting will be on March 27th, same time. And if you have any suggestions for the agenda that you would like to present at the next call, please reach out to me directly, and have a great day, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Cheers.